Hey, what's up guys? Aaron here. So I am again coming to you from my van. It is totally a mess, so I'll probably make an update about that later, showing you guys what's going on in here. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So 2 days, 13 hours or so until the Bitcoin halving. There's a lot of talk about Hong Kong approving the Bitcoin and Ether ETF and what that'll do for the price. I've seen some predictions that it'll really impact the price and others that the market just isn't big enough to really make a difference. And also we have Jerome Powell signaling rate cut delay after run of inflation surprises. So these are all things that are affecting the prices of cryptos right now, including this one, which I talked about in my last video, which all you guys know about. Bitcoin slump on Iran attack flashes warning for global markets. So the stock market has gone down a ton over the last 2 days. The Bitcoin market, the crypto market has gone down. Taking a look at the price of Bitcoin right now, just a few days ago, we were at over $70,000 and now we're at around 63. Could it go down a little more? It could. It totally could. I'll cover that a little bit later in the video. What that means, do I care? Should you care? All that kind of stuff, right? I mean, looking at just the stock market, the S&P 500 down 2.25% over the last 5 days. For the S&P, a 2.25% decline or move in any direction is a big deal. Crypto, obviously, that's not a big deal at all. So we are seeing, again, just a lot of movement happening with traditional equities, and crypto is always more volatile. And again, we are close to the halving, and we know the halving also has an impact on the price of Bitcoin, which I'll get to in just a second. We have in 2012 a couple Bitcoin OGs, Roger Ver here, and this was only, I guess, 12 years ago, right? 12 years ago, we had people setting up really ghetto-looking tables with gold tablecloths talking about Bitcoin. And I think that 12 years from now, the Bitcoin conferences and the market cap of Bitcoin that we have right now will relatively look as pathetic as this picture here. Pathetic or infantile or just undeveloped, right? Bitcoin market cap is at $1.25 trillion or so. And in 10 or 12 years from now, I think it's going to look similar to how this looks to us right now. So a little bit about the ETFs. 30 fund managers have declared ownership of BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, which is very, very good news. And there's this great video from Andreas Antonopolous, who is one of the original Bitcoin OGs, been in the space since day one. It's a 14-minute video, and really he talks about clickbait headlines regarding the halving and how there is not, or it's unlikely to result in what a lot of the media is calling a Bitcoin death spiral. So I'll include the link to this below. And speaking of which, these are the Bitcoin year-to-date ROIs for the years of the Bitcoin halving. So we have 2012, 2016, and 2020. So the years of the halving, that would be this year, 2024. And we can see that they all had pretty good years, from 2 to 4x for the year. The price of Bitcoin started out the year at around $44,000 or so. So if you extrapolate that to these other years of the halvings, even if we end the year, which some people would be annoyed, we end the year at a 2.2x, that would be a 90 some odd $1,000 Bitcoin. Or previous years, it could go over 100,000 if we do the same ROI as other halving years. So a lot of people are freaked out, upset, unsettled by the current price of Bitcoin. And you really need to take a long-term view of this stuff and understanding the charts, like on Into the Cryptoverse, which you can pick up if you'd like below. I have a link for that. Understanding the charts really will help you calm down. Here is the ROI after the halving. So again, the Bitcoin halving is taking place around 2 days from now, and the ROI from the halving. So just taking a look at the last halving, Bitcoin ended up doing a 7.86x, which ended November of 2021. That would hypothetically be like November of 2025. And the previous 2 halvings, it's gone up a lot more in terms of ROI, but just taking a look at the last halving, still over a 7x. Now, some could say, oh, we were in a zero interest rate policy and the Fed was doing quantitative easing, interest rates were super low, money was cheap, etc. Now it's different. You can make these arguments, and you could also make the arguments that because of war or possible war that everything could be different. But we also know that during the Ukraine war, when that happened, the markets all tanked, Bitcoin, equities, everything tanked, and then everything came right back. So we really just don't know what's going to happen. But every sign, in my opinion, looks to Bitcoin going up in terms of US dollars. It's super important to zoom out, not get emotional, and look at things from a 3 to 5, even a 10-year horizon. Bitcoin has a fixed issuance. It cannot be printed to infinity like the US dollar, and we know that more US dollars are going to be printed. The government has to lower interest rates to basically pay for its own debt, and we are in a debt spiral. And when there's 21 million Bitcoin, we know that the price goes up because it's a fixed asset. And this final chart talking about the crypto market cap and trend line. So we did go above this trend line a couple days ago, and now we have crossed back below the trend line. So you can see that in bull markets like right here, we are very much above this red line. And right now we touched it, which is fine. And what I believe is going to happen, obviously nobody can predict the future, but what I believe is going to happen is that just like what happened with every other bull market after the halving, we're going to see the price of Bitcoin go well above this red line, the fair value line. And how high could that go? Well, we could look right here. If Bitcoin does what it did in previous cycles, and let's say we touch this red line, that would bring the price of Bitcoin to $200,000 or so, or maybe a little bit above it. So we'll see what happens. So let's take a look at the winners for the last day. We have Celestia up 8%. Losers, we have some that pumped recently, down 7% to go. Taking a look at the categories really quick over the last 24 hours. Cat theme coins are making a comeback at 7.9% up. Then we have the losers, some Bitcoin layer 2s. Those were pumping a lot before. And we're just seeing a very, very, very quick revolving or shifting of where capital is. We had them in cat coins. They went to real world assets, RWAs. They were in Bitcoin layer 2s. And a lot of this stuff moves very, very quickly. If we see more escalation in the war, I think we'll definitely see a flight to safety. Right now, safety is Bitcoin when it comes to cryptos. But at the end of the day, going back to the charts I shared at Into the Cryptoverse, all signs after the halving point to the price of Bitcoin going up. So that's what I'm focused on. I'm here for the long term. I'm not a trader. I'm not trying to sell the top, hopefully buy the bottom. That's not what I'm doing here. And anyone on YouTube that you're following that says they are successful at that long term, they are liars, minus the 0.001% that can actually trade successfully. And if you're unfamiliar with my story, this is my Coinbase account. I started buying Bitcoin when it was about at $260 or so. I bought a Bitcoin when it was $76 way back in 2013. I then sold Bitcoin because I didn't know what I was holding. I was DCAing $50 a week into Bitcoin way back in 2013. Well, actually 2014, as you can see here. So I've been in this space for a long time. And the things that I share on this station are things that I wish that I had known back then, like taking a really, really long-term look and long-term approach when it comes to holding Bitcoin. And if you really believe in another coin, you can take that same approach, but Bitcoin obviously has the staying power. And then again, the ROI after the Bitcoin halvings, remembering that every single time there's been a Bitcoin halving, the price of Bitcoin goes up. And finally, before I go, if you don't already have a hardware wallet, you can pick up a Tangem right here. I would definitely get the 3-card set. So basically you open this up and they have 3 different cards, which allows you to be very, very safe when it comes to keeping them in separate places. I'll make a whole video about this soon, talking about how to set it up, but you literally set it up incredibly fast, and you basically use it with your phone. You tap it to the back of your phone, and that's how you can access your wallet. So link below. If you use my code, you do get some money off, as you can see right here. So guys, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I will keep you guys posted with everything going on that I think is important. And that's it. Hope you guys are doing well. Until next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.